feeling good today, y'all. Y'all feeling good? Hopefully so. Hopefully you're well. Got a couple little quick chores to do here. Before I head. Look out. Ay. They're everywhere. Got a couple quick little chores to do before we head over to the ranch. We lock the chickens in because there's a few predators known to roam. So old Cabby, we'll go out on an adventure, don't worry. Don't worry. All right. Whew. You want to know why I feed them barley? It's because that was the last thing I hauled in my hopper. And whenever you haul stuff in your hopper, there's always a little leftover. It just comes out of nowhere and lands on the bottom. So right before you load your next load, you open the bottom of your traps and a bunch comes out. And so that's what I had. So if you're wondering, what do I feed my stuff? How do I decide? That's how. Let's go over, we got some calving going on, y'all. We'll get in the old racing rocket, which is a Taurus. Oh yeah. I love a good $1,000 car, you guys. I'm a fan. Because every time I drive somewhere in a $1,000 car, all I can think of is all the money that I'm saving. Oh. Well, that was kind of a haphazard intro, but here we are. Thought I would catch you up a little bit on the calving situation. The weather has been beautiful, guys. We had, let's see, since we sorted heavies last, you watched us do that, we've had 100 and something calves come. We've had a nice, what do we get? Probably 10 inches, no, not 10 inches, probably 8 inches, 6, hard to tell because it was melting into the ground, but a good solid snow, a nice wet snow that all soaked into the ground. We've got a little irrigation water running. The creek is running. I got a crick in my neck. Creek is running. Everything's feeling pretty hopeful right now. As you'll see when we get out here a little bit, the grass is starting to green, which means the cows are starting to chase those little fresh blades of grass, which means they're eating less hay. We have enough hay to get to the end of April, and it should be just enough to get this grass up and going to where the timing should work out perfect. And the way the spring's, you know, cautiously appearing, kind of hopeful that we're gonna have some good news, you know, have some hay, have some good pastures. So we'll keep an eye on that as we roll, but the name of the game today is pretty simple. I just want to bring you along. I got to go feed some of these cows. We need to bring some more of the lates in, the last of the lates. Remember, the lates are the ones that we, you know, are later calving, and we have them still out in the field. We need to bring the rest of those in. See, this is where the barley came from. I was getting my trailer ready to go, hauling a load of potatoes, seed potatoes from Montana out to, far eastern North Dakota. And I had a few little tweaks I needed to do. And while I was doing it, I opened my traps and dumped out that barley. Chickens are loving it. I like how in every corner of every shot there's a cab over somewhere stashed away. I got more content with this truck. I got some plans for this thing. This is what I'm hoping to use now. Now that I've got that truck broke in from the overhaul, by the end of this summer, all the parts warranties on the overhaul will be, you know, done. So I won't feel quite as, what's the word? Feel the need to drive that one quite as much. Which is where I'm going to break this baby out. I think I'm going to use this for cow hauling this fall. What do you think of that? Had more mice this winter than ever. Which is part of why I have the cab over at my house, the peat. There's my pile. I know, you're like, why do you have a bunch of dead mice on your floor? Well, because I get so many mice out of my shop that, ugh, yikes. Sorry, bro. There's another one. How did you get out of there? Keep on coming. I've caught over, I had like 8 of these Ooh. It's hard to set a mousetrap with cold fingers. I gotta check inside the coach. Caught one in the coach! Finally. Buggers. Man, you guys, this is crazy. I know there's a lot of different tricks and remedies. Bet you didn't think this was gonna be a YouTube about catching mice. I didn't either. The worst was I caught one yesterday morning, just by its little front leg. So it was alive still and was waiting there for me. He had drug the trap off. I was just sitting there waiting. And I had to perform a dispatch. I don't like doing that. Even the little mouse, like I still feel bad. Like I don't like it. I'm like, you can't be in here, you ruin everything, you eat everything. You guys get, if you would just like be here and be like, hey, mind if we hang out in the warm shop for the winter? I'm fine with that. But when you start chewing on all my truck manuals and any of the clothing that I've left out, my coveralls and my boots, and you poop in my boots and stuff. Can't have that, y'all. I'm like a loving, caring fellow, but I can't have you tearing things up. It ain't fair. I didn't ask for that. Show you this little treasure here, y'all. This is an add-on grain tank. See down in there? Oh yeah. Ooh. 107 looks like she's gonna be a handful when she calves. Not a great bale of hay as you can see, but check this out. This is what's so cool about the, I did not know this cow is this tame. I don't know if she doesn't see me. The sun's in her eyes, or she's just this tame. See how she's eating that grain right out of that hay? They're getting like a pound, 1 to 2 pounds a day, roughly. And it just lays in right on top of that stuff. There, she saw me. Hey girl. Oh, so it just lays right down on this hay. And it helps the cows. See, they want to root into this hay. It helps them. 2 things. Corn gives them a lot of energy and makes up for poor quality hay, which this, as you can see, is just dried out drought hay from last year. Bales, sorry, our hay bales this year are very hit and miss. Like, if we walk down the line, I feel like this was a pretty green bale when we first started. See how all these cows are staying down here on this end of this bale? Like they're all down there versus only a couple on that end. I don't know if the old GoPro picks this up or not, but I don't know. This is way greener. Again, the camera probably doesn't show up, but this is like much greener hay. So that cow right there, you guys, number 95, this is her calf. She just had it just a minute ago. That is the kind of cow. I wish I had 150 of those. She is maybe 900 pounds, which might sound like a lot to some of you, but in cow terms, that is a tiny cow. She raises a calf every year that's over 700 pounds. So she's 900 pounds. She raises a calf that's almost her size. And fortunately for us, I believe that one is a heifer, which means we'll keep it. So it probably has her genetics, her small cow genetics. So we'll keep that little baby as a ranch calf forever. Let's see who just pulled up here. Oh, we got a whole carload.
JJ,
what's the word today?
Well, looks like you got to start a new one for the day. Huh?
Yeah, that was 95, the little midget cow.
Oh,
really? Yeah, and I think she had a heifer.
Oh, sweet. I had to take one in during the night.
Did you?
Just let out.
First pull or what?
Well, I thought I was good and she wasn't getting nothing done, but I got her inside there and I went to start getting stuff ready and she had it.
She did.
Good big bowl.
So this year, it's strange. I'd like to think that it's because of the nice weather, but we haven't, knock on wood, had to assist any of, how many have we had so far?
130 some.
Haven't had to assist a single cow yet. No breech, even not necessarily breech, which would mean like backwards or something weird with the position of the calf coming out, but haven't had any hard pulls even where they just had a big calf they needed help getting pulled out. So
that first time ever we haven't had a backwards calf.
Yeah, no backwards one.
With this slate.
Yeah.
Far into it.
And usually the later you get into your season, it seems like the less problems you have normally, even in a regular year. So hopefully as we're getting towards the end. Okay, I'm gonna show you guys this cow one more time, number 95, because I have a great story. She has a great story. I love a cow with a great story. Hey, mama. Oh, she could take me. So that cow, let me tell you, some years back, Weston and I, you remember Weston, my little bro, we were doing a little moneymaker project where we were going into the sale barn. Hopefully you can see me with that sun. We were going into the sale barn here in town and a couple of the sale barns around the state, and we were buying calves that were junky. We were buying calves that were thin, calves that have been kind of neglected by their mama, calves that just had a tough life for whatever reason. Let me get in the tractor where it's a little quiet. We would go in, and at that time, I think the going market for a calf, this was in the fall time, I don't know how many years ago, 5 years ago. And the going market for a good calf was about $800 to $1,000. And we were going in, and we had a price cap where we wouldn't pay any more than, I think it was about $350. So just to give you an idea of the kind of cattle that we were picking up, it was stuff that needed help. They needed some special attention, and we were going to give it to them. We'd bring them home here to the ranch. We'd give them some medicine, help them get kind of back on their feet, and then we'd take special care. We'd feed them a little extra grain, and just took good care of them. We would upgrade those cattle, and then once they were upgraded, 3 or 4 months later, we took them back to the sale barn where they were all rejuvenated and ready to go on again, and sell them. And it turned out to be a really great project. It was a lot of work, but that cow, she was a calf at the time. Okay, so this 95 comes in the ring, and I was too unknowing, not educated enough at the time to, like, nobody's bidding on this heifer, and I'm like, what is going on? And just nobody wants her. So Weston and I, we buy this heifer for like $300, maybe less, like nothing, dirt cheap. And she was fairly big. A lot of the calves we were buying at that time were 400 pounds. She was probably 550 pounds. And so we're like, man, we got a big animal that doesn't really look to have any problems, so to speak, for a really great price. Man, why didn't anybody else bid on this thing? Anyway, so we bring her home, and we, go through the routine and get her in the pen, and 6, 7, 8 weeks later, we start looking at her and realize she's starting to make a little bag, a little milk bag. And she's young. She's a year younger than she should be to be pregnant for a cow. She was pregnant as a calf. Think of this as, basically a young teen pregnancy type of thing. And we're going, oh, So then it clicked, that's why nobody bid on her, because those old cattle buyers knew. They looked at her and went, ooh, she's got a baby in her belly. They don't want to buy her and send her to one of their customers in the Midwest because they're trying to feed cattle to get them bigger. They can't deal with things like a pregnant calf. Pregnant calves are sketchy because they're so small. When they calve, if the calf inside them is too big, you end up having to have a cesarean section from the vet, which is expensive, and then it can end up being bad. You could lose the calf, you can lose the baby. So anyway, basically as a thanks to Mom and Dad for letting us use their pens up there to run our little project in, I said, Rooster, why don't you guys can have this cow, this pregnant calf. I said, let's put her out with the cows, we'll watch her, and when she calves, we'll try to save the calf, you know? And so anyway, she calves, and sure enough, she has the calf on her own. She doesn't even need any assistance, has this tiny little calf. And we turned her out with the cow herd, and she's gotten pregnant again every year ever since then. Very fertile, extremely fertile cow, as evidenced in her early years, but very fertile and the most high output cow. So there's a $300 animal that we've had for 5 years now. This is her 4th calf, I think. And she's just dynamite, old number 95. Such like a success story from the lowest lows to where nobody wants her, nobody wants nothing to do with her, to all of a sudden she's like our most productive weight to calf weight ratio cow that we have. And I wish that we had a whole herd of them. Here's this process, if you was wondering. A lot of ranchers that use these processors, they don't cut their strings off. They just leave them on and dump them in. I don't understand why. Cut the string with my old trusty broken kitchen knife. See, they don't, the bale goes in here. Over there's a round drum that spins around with flails on it. And those flails are what chop the hay up. Shoot it underneath, there you go, see him? Shoots it underneath here, hits this, drops to the ground. Grain comes out of the pipe on top of there. String up. Now here's the trick. You just come back here. Come back around, grab the twine off, do the roll. That's why I don't understand leaving twine on the bale. Arr, like a buccaneer. Anyhow, PTO on, starts the grain, and I'll feather the hay out real easy with the number 1 right here. A couple of you guys commented as we're heading out to the east end of the place, wondering about how Lash's little drainage project. Remember this thing we did? It's on my YouTube intro, actually, some of the footage. And I'll come back out here when it is. I'll come back out here when it's actually raining hard this spring and running. When the snow first melted, it was running, and it goes right underneath through the concrete, nice and dry where the tractor drives. Comes right out. Dry as a bone. All right, let's head out to the east. Alright, so we got the rest of the lates. Yeah. Nice. Hey, you made it in. Woo, got you a sorting stick. You want green or red?
Green's fine.
Christmas time. It's Christmas time. So here's what we got. We got the late cows in here. If you remember from the last video, again, just as a reminder, the late ones, I already mentioned this, but they're the ones that are calving later in the season. There's so few of them left that we're just going to go ahead and put them in with the heavies, because like 3 of them have calved out in the field now. We did have one other little situation that we got to fix real quick. See these little ones, like that one looking at us right there? That's a yearling heifer, which means these small ones with no ear tags are the up and coming cows. We'll breed them here in a couple months for the first time, and then they next year will be first calf heifers, which means they're the future of the ranch. So they busted their fence down out of their pen and they got in with all of the cows. So we've been kind of sorting them out as we find them. Come on, y'all. You know, if they'll all go out, we'll just see. That's that one he's talking about right here, I think. I bet so.
Oh, yeah.
No belly, racehorsey.
Yeah.
Looks dry. Nice. I'll, if you want to just stand there, I'll run them back by so you don't get... Come on. There we go. It's a good time to get kicked. I'm sure that's her. Rooster thought there was one that was dry, and that looks like it's probably her. Cow, cow. Hey. Just stepped right in a poo. Oh, right in it. Hey. Oh, come on. All right. Heifers. Yeah. Hey, mama. I think it confuses my mom when I say, hey, mama. Yeah, all heifers. Because I'm like, hey, mama. She's like, what? Here's my problem. They're bringing up those little heifers. Here's my problem. I need to push the gate open and block it with that cinder block. But watch what happens every time I open it. No. Go back. Guys, I'm not quick enough. Yeah. 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 Let's see if we can do it quick. Come on. Come on. Come on. Come on. Ah, got him. Sorry, I'm out of breath. Working on my fitness up in the gym. Not. We let him into this little pasture here, and way down over in the corner, see where that cow and calf are out there? If you follow this fence line way out there over the hill, they blew out a corner post. I don't know if they got spooked or what, but they rampaged it down there, and then that let them get over into the cows out there, which basically lets them have run of the ranch. Hope you enjoyed your adventure, you little nunks. We're gonna hide. If I stay here, see, these guys will respect me. I'm hiding. They see me, so they don't want to come down. But the new ones can't see me, so they'll come in. Hey, Red. Hey, respect me. Yeah, boy. They're all gonna tell stories about what happened while they were out and about. Guess who did this? About 12 years ago. Me. Next project. Mondays are always full of what Luke likes to call Nickey-Knacky things. Got a lot of Nickey-Knacky things. So we got the lates in. We got them ready to go. They're separated. We got the jailbreakers put away. We've got some calves that need to be tagged that we just put in. the heavy pasture and some that were just born, like 95 I told you about earlier. Then let's see, what else is there? We got to get the pairs out of the heavy pasture so they can go out on their way. We try to keep, as soon as they're born, as soon as we can verify they've nursed their mamas, let them out, let them free, let them go out onto the range. So we need to get them out. And then we've got that open cow that we just sorted off that needs to go to the auction. We've got a red cow here that I'll show you in a second. She's a dirty bugger. She basically had her baby and made sure that it got one little jag of milk, and then she took off and she left her baby to starve to death. Basically left him in a dumpster, more or less. And so we took her calf and put it on the milk cow, the one that Haley milks, that we all milk. So now that milk cow has 2 calves on her, and this dirty bugger is gonna go to the auction because she is crazed. I don't know yet if she's mean. It's just wild. There's a difference between wild and mean. We're gonna find out in a minute. We don't need cows like that. This is her 4th calf. She's never had a sign. She never had any trouble. No issues. I think she's gonna run right out. Look at this. But she just plumb lost her mind. She just crazed. Oh. Come on, little bull, get out there with her. Keep her calm. Okay. Oh yeah. I don't think she's mean. She just runs everywhere like crazy. She just takes off. Little trick, I hope I don't have to show you. If you ever get charged by a cow, yeah. Come on, babies. If you ever get charged by a cow, always remember this thing, and it's hard to remember in the moment. You will never outrun a cow. So you can only hope to sidestep them at the last second, just like the bullfighters do. You gotta wait till the last minute as they're charging, they're bearing down, they're gonna eat you. And at the very last second, you gotta move to the side, and then that's when you have your second to go, because it takes that cow a little minute to slow down and get turned around. Usually by then she's already forgotten what's going on. You don't want to give her a chance to remember. That's when you run, okay? Don't run while they're coming at you. You run after they go by you. It's very hard. Because everything in your mind, body, spirit, soul is screaming at you to run. Turn and run. But those are the people that always get run over. Okay, that went unexpectedly well. Nobody got run over yet. Now, all these babies need to go out this gate. Got to make sure they get paired up when they leave, because those moms get really excited to be out to pasture and out of what we call the calving lot, or the calving pasture. And we just start working them out. First key part is to open the gate. And then when we start doing it, some of these cows will want to take their babies and head west. So you got to kind of keep them down here while pairing them up. You'll see. You'll get the hang of it. Would you want to kind of go around and... Come on, little babe. Let's go. Follow mama. Go ahead, mom. You want to watch the gate and I'll go back and forth?
Yeah, there's more in my back of my pickup. Grab you.
Watch that red cow in the corner too. Also, cows that are getting close to calving, they want to get out. Cows, when they calve, they want to get as far away from anyone or anything as they can. So you have to watch, because the ones that are getting close to calving, they'll try to sneak out the gate as well. Sometimes with the GoPro, I don't know, I'm not totally sold on GoPros. I have beefs with their batteries, and with, you get backwards a lot on your recording. You think it's recording and it's not. Well, here's Rooster. Hello. Yeah, we'll bring a bunch more of these down to you. Anyway, basically I recorded backwards on my last several sequences, so you did not get to see all these calves head out, but we'll get you some more. My bad. Not that it's dirty in here. I mean, you see where we've been walking. There's some poos and stuff. We'll go down with them. That's all right. I don't think it's a disease, but they can get a sickness called scours. And what scours are is basically like death diarrhea, where they basically dehydrate themselves out their rear end, and they die from it. And it's a bacterial thing. So as soon as these calves are up, like I said, we're getting them out of here. Today's beautiful weather. Tomorrow it's supposed to kind of get cloudy and rainy, so we want to get these calves out so that they can get out into the good, clean, virgin, fresh fields, you know. Here we got a nice little jag trailing out. See them? Rooster kicked a pair out already. It's looking good, y'all. So then we won't have any calves left in here. We do this about every 2 days or so. Flush them out. I've also realized I'm at a funny stage where I've begun to call my dad Grandpa, because there's so many people on the ranch who he's a grandfather to now, that with all the kids and stuff, you're like, hey, go ask Grandpa, or go talk to Roost, go see what Grandpa wants. It's easier just to call him Grandpa, either Rooster or Grandpa. Kind of funny. That's probably something that happens in everybody's life. Come on, Sally's. Keep on moving to that corner. Come on, greener pastures await. You're gonna love it. Kind of an orange turd stuck on his, yellow turd stuck on his blow. Okay, this cow's not calved. Yeah, I'll get her out of here. Lady, what do you have over here? What'd you build?
Go show this.
Come show me. What? What is that? Where's his arms?
Right here.
Right there. And what about the eyes?
Over here.
What'd you make his eyes out of?
A dark.
Some cow nunk. Good job. This is the very last of the snow. I bet Grandpa wants some for his finger. Yeah. Okay. Need some snow for your finger? Bruce, what happened to your finger?
That calf had some sticky newborn hanging from its tail, big old, looked like a yellow snowball. I'm afraid you wouldn't be able to blast by it.
So you got, one good thing about old Roost, he's never been afraid to get a little dirty. We had a sticky poo on this bum of this calf. Old Roost took one for the team, said, oh no, I'll get her. And just gave her the old, so I got him some snow. Well, Woo, we think.
Got her done. That's what we got done today.
So we
All
did
those
today.
knick-knacks.
So you guys, that's it. That was about 2.5 hours of our Monday morning. Remember, we got all the mice gone. Once we got the mice taken care of, then we went and fed. Once we got the feeding done, we brought the lates in. Then we sorted the lates away from the yearling heifers. Remember the jailbreakers that got out? Anyway, got that bull branded, so he cannot be rustled by somebody anymore. He's officially ours. Got all the pairs kicked out. Everything worked perfect. They're all mothered up. They're happy. They're clear. There's not a single calf left in the calving pasture at the moment, although there's 2 more out there that are really close. But anyway, you guys, as always, really appreciate it. Glad to have you along. really want to keep trying to grow the channel. If you get a chance, if you know people that you think this would fit, people that would appreciate the cleanliness, people that would appreciate the lifestyle or whatever, don't be afraid to share, all right? Till next time, be good. See, GoPro won't shut off. That's what I'm talking about. GoPro, shut off.